up, Power Ranger fans? Welcome to Off the Grid, the All Power Rangers podcast. I am your host, Jacob Bartley, and today we're here to talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 27 from Boom Comics, one of the later editions of the Shattered Grid saga. I'm pretty sure it's getting ready to wrap up pretty soon, and it's been such a great ride. I'm getting here to review this today. It's a little bit late. As I've said, every show lately was super busy with school, but it is over for the summer. And yes, I did pass my stats class if you were paying attention last time. I was struggling with my stats class. That's why I was been so busy. Barely passed, but there we go. I'm all good. But yes, this issue right here. This issue is awesome. I really liked it. That cover is amazing. Man, that cover is amazing. So beautiful seeing Jason and Lauren fighting together on there. But before I get started, I will say, spoilers. Obviously, we're going to get into some spoiler discussions about these comics. It's been out for a few weeks now. We think we have a couple weeks until another comic comes out. So let's jump right into it. I really liked this issue. The last thing I reviewed was, I believe it was the Free Comic Book Day issue, which I loved that Free Comic Book Day issue. It was incredible. This one I really liked. This was more of a setup to a bigger thing. The next issue is probably going to be a large battle if you've seen the cover of the next issue. This one was more of a setup, like the first act of a movie or the second act of a movie. That's what this issue felt like, and for that it was really good. One thing that was pretty shocking at the beginning of the issue was establishing that Skull in Draken's world is like some double agent. He gains Draken's trust and becomes one of his officers, but he's really working with the Coinless and actually helping them operate from within. He saves Zack from Draken's world, that version of Zack from the Coinless. And that was really cool to see Skull in that role, because too often the TV shows, even the comics sometimes, not as bad as the TV shows, they make Bulk and Skull like just dumb idiots. And, well, they are dumb idiots for the most part. Some of my favorite episodes of the Power Rangers TV shows were when Bulk and Skull actually played a role in what was actually going on with the Power Rangers, and they weren't just doing some random thing that had nothing to do with the Power Rangers. I loved when they were actually involved and helped with the story, just like in Power Rangers Zeo, when the King for a Day episodes, when they help save the day, like they help save them. So that was great. So anyways, that's why I appreciate Skull in Draken's world being such a crucial part, because he ends up freeing Zack, and then having someone on the inside can be very valuable for just our Rangers and the Coinless and everything. So I thought that was a really cool and really clever idea as far as setting Skull up in that kind of role. One of my favorite things in this issue was when Zordon is like, I gotta send out a call to all the Rangers across all the realities, across all the timelines. I gotta send out a call, and he's like, Rangers, you know, we all need to stick together, fight together, protect your morphers at all costs, and may the power protect you all. That was so great, because Zordon can't physically come out and fight. He can't do much. All he can do is spread knowledge and provide motivation and provide guidance. And that was Zordon doing that to the fullest, speaking to all the Rangers all across time and letting them know we need to stick together, we need to band together, we need to protect what we have and what can prevent Draken from getting stronger. I thought that was really done well, and it was cool. The page where it has like different sections, like a pie of different Rangers from different times dealing with Draken, and I thought that was really cool. And then you have the Rangers discussing, Lawrence telling them about, you know, how powerful Draken and his forces were, and they come up with a plan and they decide to split up. And I love that Jason and Lauren are going together, the two Red Rangers, two strong leaders, going together to Corinth where Dr. K is, and that ends up setting up the end of the issue. But there's a bunch of stuff in between that we can talk about still. But I just thought that was really cool, that they decided to team up together, and the way they split up the teams. I think Trini, Billy, and Zack go to Draken's world and meet up with the Coinless. That was pretty awesome. But just back to when they all split up and how they all coming up with their plan. I just love how much this comic issue in general, has established Jason's leadership. Like, he is such a great leader in the comics, something that the TV show never really touched on. He was just kind of there in the TV show, and I love Jason. He's my favorite Ranger ever, even on the TV show. But he wasn't as strong of a leader as he was in these comics, and he is such an admirable character in these comics, and he's such a great leader. Even though he loses his temper sometimes and he's so serious, that's part of his flaws, and he is able to just be such a strong leader because of them. So I love how much they established him and the way he just orders everybody around. And it's kind of funny how he's like butting heads with these other Rangers, the girls, Lauren, and then the Pink Time Ranger. I'm forgetting her name right now. But because they're kind of in leadership roles on their squads, so he's kind of like not used to somebody else trying to be in charge, and neither are they. So I love that little dynamic. But anyways, so we cut to Draken's world, and we see Draken with the red Zeonizer with Finster 5, and he's looking at it, and he's talking about how he doesn't understand why the Rangers from Mighty Morphin, the Rangers in Zeo, why they cherish Tommy so much. And I think that is a reflection on us as fans. Tommy is the most popular Power Ranger ever, and even though he's not my favorite, I think Jason, as the Red Ranger, the original leader, doesn't get enough credit that he deserves. But Tommy just stuck around longer. Tommy was the leader for longer. Tommy, he was the White Ranger, the Green Ranger, the Red Ranger. He's been around for so long. He was the star of both the original movies. So I understand, and I'm not angry that he's the most popular Power Ranger ever. But I think that's kind of like Draken was reflecting, asking us as a fan base, why do you guys cherish Tommy so much? And I can see how Draken is like annoyed by that, and he's like, because he's not Tommy. Yes, he's a version of Tommy from an alternate timeline or an alternate reality, whatever, but he's not our Tommy. He's not the Tommy that we know. He's trying to understand why these people cherish that Tommy, the one that he's not. And the fact that this Draken went through all this stuff and went down the evil route, and he's a totally different person. So he's like, why do you guys cherish this guy so much? Like, and he's really annoyed by it, you can tell. But it's also an inner thing, because even though he's not Tommy, he still has some connection to him, because like physically, like he is the same person but from a different reality. So it's just a whole complex situation, but it just gives a little more depth to Draken in my opinion. So I loved when Lauren, Sheba, and Jason get to Corinth, and he Tyrannosaurus and brings it down, and how they're just marching through the desert, and they're having this conversation about things that they've gone through and things that they've lost. I thought that was such a great scene, and how Jason is trying to be this leader and stay composed, but he's very, very upset about Tommy being killed, and he should be. I mean, we saw that in the issue with the funeral, how realistically these characters reacted, which was one of the best moments in the comics. So, and the fact that it's bothering him so much, yet he has to stay composed, because this fight is not over, it's not near over, so he has to stay composed. I thought that was really great. And then some of the stuff that Lauren Sheba went through, I thought, she's like, I fight demons, and he's like, sure. But it's funny, because like all the things that Jason has experienced, and he doesn't believe that demons are real, come on, like that's pretty funny to me. Yeah, so that was a great conversation to me. And then we have Zach, Trini, Billy interacting with, I'm going to call Draken's world Earth 2, just to be kind of like easier to say, and because Draken's world, every time Draken's world, I'm just going to call it Earth 2. Can we agree to call it Earth 2, even though it's not really called that? Okay, that's what I'm going to call it. So the Earth 2 Rangers, the Coinless, the Draken World Rangers, are interacting with Zach, Trini, Billy. And it's funny because Trini, the other Trini's there, the other Zach's there. Billy is dead in Draken's world. So, and if you've been reading the comics, you know the Zach and Trini from Draken's world have kind of a connection with Billy, because they lost their Billy. So they are they're attached to this new Billy that they met from our timeline. So I thought that was really cool how they have this relationship. But I'm wondering, what are Zach and Trini, the regular Zach and Trini, thinking this whole time? Like, this is so weird seeing other versions of ourselves. Like, I think that is kind of funny. Like, I wish they would have played on that more and mentioned something about it, like, I would have totally made a moment of that. Like, this is kind of weird seeing my own self. Maybe they'll touch on it in the next issue, but I just thought that was pretty funny. Like, this is the first time them seeing, I'm pretty sure this is the first time of them seeing the alternate versions of themselves. And, like, it seems like they didn't even react, but they were really quiet, so maybe that was their reaction in a way. But anyways, I thought that was a pretty good reaction. I didn't love it necessarily, but it was pretty good. And then there's a lot of cutting back and forth because they're trying to set this all up. It's a setup. And then Jason, they get to where Dr. K is, and they knock out some of the Draken's forces with the Tyrannosaurus T-Rex, which is my favorite Zord. Yeah, whatever. Jason, my favorite. His sword is my favorite. His Zord is my favorite. Whatever, sue me. But that was pretty cool. I like that. They're gonna have to work together with Dr. K in order to come up with a plan for this. And then Lord Draken shows up, and he's coming into town to throw down. That was that shot of him, coming in, and then he's with other Rangers. Well, he's with a small army, a crew with other Rangers, morphers, because we've seen mostly all his soldiers are in the Mighty Morphin armor, but now they have other armor. I thought that was great. That shot got me excited. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for the next issue. And of course, it doesn't come out for like 2 or 3 weeks from when this issue came out. But overall, like I said, this show was not, or excuse me, I said movie, I said show. This issue, there we go, is not a big bang, like, oh my goodness, can't believe that just happened, type issue. This was a setup. You have to have holy crap moment issues, and then you have to have the slower build-up issues. This was one of the slower build-up issues. It was a great setup for, I think the next one's the finale. I'm not 100% positive on that. Maybe I should know that if I'm doing a podcast about it. But I do like this issue as a setup. I thought it worked very well. Another thing is, so they have these mini stories at the end of the comics, right? And for the most part, they've been okay. I really I loved the Bulk and Skull ones back in the day when they were doing it. I did not love the Babu and what's his name. I didn't like that one really that much at all, really. And then they have this Blue Centurion and the Blue Centurion one, and somebody else is on there too. So these have been okay, but I thought, like, I'm interested in seeing the Blue Centurion. That's cool, because I think he's a great idea, and not necessarily executed that great in Power Rangers Turbo, but I think the idea of the character is really, really good. And then, like, you have this one, like, with the Putty Rangers and Monsieur Mooster, whatever you're gonna call him, and he's like saying all these like blueberry baka buka things, and I'm like, what is this? Like, get this out of here. Like, you want me to read this great issue of Mighty Morphin and then read that at the end and just put a sour taste in my mouth? Like, I don't think I'm gonna read those anymore until later. Like, when Shattered Grid's over, then I'm gonna go back and read the rest, because I'm done reading those. That kind of like just I didn't want to read that after this great issue of Mighty Morphin. So I don't know, maybe I'm being too harsh on that little story at the end. What did you guys think? What did you guys think overall of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 27? Are you excited? Did you think it was a great setup? Were you disappointed that there wasn't much going on other than character interactions, which are some of the best things to read sometimes? But sometimes people just want the big bang action, and I understand. We're definitely going to get it in the next issue. I want to know what you guys thought, though. I'm really curious. Did you like this issue? Did you not like this issue? Let me know in the comment section. So I'm pretty sure, like I said, the next issue doesn't come out for a couple of weeks. So I'm finally going to review Power Rangers Turbo. The last season I reviewed was Power Rangers Zeo, which I loved. Now I'm back to my journey of watching the shows, because I'm going to watch every single show ever made for Power Rangers, so I can catch up by the time Beast Morphers premieres next year in 2019. But like I said before, I haven't seen anything past Power Rangers. I realize I have watched Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, so I'll say I haven't watched anything past Power Rangers Lost Galaxy in my life. So, but also at the same time, everything I had watched until recently was so long ago. So I rewatched Mighty Morphin, I rewatched Zeo. I'm currently on Power Rangers in Space, which I really like. But the next one I'm gonna review is Power Rangers Zeo, so stay tuned. Look out for that. That's going to do it for Off the Grid, a Power Rangers podcast. Again, I am your host, Jacob Bartley. Subscribe to Comic Hero Talk if you like all things superhero, especially Power Rangers, because obviously I love Power Rangers and I talk about that stuff a lot. Share my collectibles for Power Rangers on here. Haven't bought anything new in a while, but one thing I'm really eyeing is they have, because Lego hasn't made a Power Ranger set, but they have people who make their own little Lego figures. They're not Lego brand, but they work as Lego pieces. And there's this Power Ranger set for like $18 online. That's the next thing I'm probably gonna buy. I've also been going to Toys R Us a lot and checking on seeing what's on sale there. I think it's like 50% off now. Anyways, this is all reminding me of that I'm getting a Lord Draken figure when I go to Power Morphicon in August, which you guys should go to Power Morphicon too. It's in Anaheim. I'm so excited. I can't wait. This is my first time going. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Until then, may the power protect you.